Hello everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Olivia, and in today's video, we're doing it again. The TBR wheel is choosing my January reads. I've been doing these videos for several months now, and I think they're my favorite. I think they're your guys' favorite, and I'm just having a blast putting my decisions in the hands of fate, you could say. And I'm honestly just so excited for a new year of reading. So without further ado, let's just get into the TBR wheel chooses my January reads. Okay, so as usual, I've put all the copies of the physical books that I own that are going to be in the TBR wheel right here. And anything else that's in the TBR wheel, you can safely assume that it's either ready to check out at my library, it's on Kindle Unlimited, or I just really want an excuse to go and buy that book. Okay, I'm recording my screen, and as you guys can see, the TBR wheel has a lot of the books from this physical TBR pile. And I think, again, I'm gonna spin for 5. On average, I read about 4 books every month, so I like to spin for 5 and just give myself some options. So yeah, let's do it. I'm so excited. There's some rereads in here that I would love to get. There's also fantasy. I don't know, like I could be happy with anything. Oh my God, why do I get this book every time? The way I just said I would be happy with everything. That is a little bit awkward. So in last month's TBR wheel video, I did spin for the Red Queen. I feel like I spin for this every time. And this has now become the resident book that I just keep not reading. But the reason that I really do want to read this is because everyone is really loving Powerless by Lauren Roberts right now. And she was inspired by Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard to write Powerless, if that makes sense. So to me, I thought it would be fun to read Red Queen and then read Powerless. This book, I've talked about it in quite a few TBR videos now, so I'm not going to dive into it. Basically, there's people with red blood and silver blood. I think the silver bloods have power, the red bloods don't, and this one girl with red blood has powers, and it's like chaos or something like that. Okay, back to the TBR wheel, spinning for book number 2. I will be really happy if I get books from this physical pile. I definitely want to get through them. But there's also some books from the... You know when they say she was too stunned to speak? It's a little bit how I'm feeling right now. Apparently I lied when I said that I would be really happy getting any book on my TBR because I think there were 2 that I would have preferred not to get. And Red Queen was one of them. And David Copperfield was the other. So I do actually really want to read this book. I have a copy of Demon Copperhead, which is based on this book. And I didn't want to read that until I read the OG, if you know what I mean. But I think to give you a little bit of perspective on how long this book is, the audiobook is 34 hours. So yeah, January is going to be an interesting little month. I mean, feel for me, guys. The words are so small and the pages are so big. I don't know if you can tell. This thing is an actual brick. I think maybe what I'll do is try to annotate it and get really into it, try to be a critical reader, and I feel like that'll make me have a really good time with this. So, okay, book number 2 for January is David Copperfield. Again, if any of you guys have read this, let me know if you liked it down below because I don't hear people talk about it that often. All right, I'm looking at this now, and I think now I would be happy with any of the books on here. So let's see what happens. There are definitely a few that I'm leaning towards, like Love and Other Words would be great. It's not looking like it. Okay guys, Assassin's Blade. This is actually perfect timing. One of my goals for 2024 is to read the entire Throne of Glass series. I've read a few books in it. I haven't read the whole thing, and it's been so long that I kind of forgot what happened in the series, if that makes sense. So I really want to go back, reread a few books. I did recently reread Throne of Glass, so next up I would like to read Assassin's Blade. There's a lot of debate on the order of how you're supposed to read this series. I think I want to read Assassin's Blade second. I actually didn't read it the first time through, so I feel like it'd be fun to read it second this time. but again, I don't think there's any right way to do it. This is actually one of the books that I don't own. It's not ready for me at the library. I would just really love a physical copy. I love the way that all the new covers for the Throne of Glass series look. I think they're absolutely gorgeous. So maybe this will give me a little excuse to go to Target or do some used book shopping and find Assassin's Blade. So yeah, this one I am actually really excited about, and I feel like I will be able to make it a priority because I'm not intimidated by it. Okay, we are on to book number 4. That means only 2 more spins left. Let's see. Let me know down below what your guys' January TBR is, what you'd like to read. Circe. Okay, Circe actually works out so incredibly well. One of my closest friends from home and we were talking about how we both want to read Circe together. The two of us talked about it literally maybe like a year ago, and then we met up recently this year and we're like, hey, do you remember talking about wanting to do a little book club thing and read Circe together? And we tentatively talked about doing it in January. So hopefully that happens. I also have this on hold for me at the library, and it's supposed to become available in January. So that would actually be perfect because I loved, like with my entire heart and soul, loved the Song of Achilles. Did I bawl my eyes out at 2 o'clock in the morning? Yes. Was it worth it? Also, yes. And so this has been a book on my radar for a long time. And it was really nice to have a friend come into my life and be like, hey, let's do this together. I'm going to bring that up again and hopefully make that happen. How great would that be? All right, final spin. I think if I could pick any book in this stack, it would be Love and Other Words. But I think I would be okay with anything. We'll see what the TBR wheel chooses. What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? Okay, that's good. I got a book that I do have a physical copy of. Okay, so the one is a book that I've already read. This is one of the rereads. I read the first 2 books in the selection series in 2023, and that was my second time reading the series. And for some reason, I just never found my way to the finale of the series. And you can read these books in literally like a few days. It's YA and essentially The Bachelor in a dystopian world. To me, these are very nostalgic. Like again, I wouldn't say they're beautiful pieces of literature. They're just nostalgic. And like, I think about myself wanting to meet like a prince and him like choosing me out of like 30 girls, but also in a kingdom. Like there was something about that when I was in middle school that just spoke to my soul. And so now it just feels like very joyful, happy rereads. I'm actually pretty happy about this because if I'm actually going to be reading David Copperfield and what was the other one? Circe. I've heard that can be a little bit intense. It'll be good to have some lighter reading materials. Okay, let's go through my official January TBR, first month of the new year. Get hype, I'm so excited. The first book that we have is The One by Kiera Cass. This is the 3rd book in the selection series. Then we have Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard. Hopefully this is the month I actually pick it up. Again, please tell me if I should. Don't know why I keep putting this one off. Then we have The Man, the Myth, the Legend, David Copperfield by Charles Dickens. Honestly, if I get this out of the way at the beginning of this year, that would be great. And who knows, maybe I'll love it. And again, I think I would love to dive into this with some annotation supplies and just like make a day of it. So yeah. David Copperfield by Charles Dickens. Then we have the 2 books that I do not physically own at this point. The first one being Assassin's Blade by Sarah J. Maas. This is the prequel to the Throne of Glass series. I am very excited about this, and it will definitely help me to reach that goal of reading the entire Throne of Glass series in 2024. And then the final book that I spun for but do not have is Circe by Madeline Miller. This one just... if it's anything like Song of Achilles, I think I'll probably love it. I am such a hoe for a good Greek retelling, so sign me up. I'm so excited. I'm actually really excited about this January TBR. I feel like there were a good mix of books, some being the ones that I own and others that I have on hold at the library. And yeah, I hope you guys are having a fantastic day, a fantastic reading month. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one. All right, you guys, bye.